I've now done about 17 leveling videos and gotten a few questions as to what one I like the best. There are many of those I've tested that will be very good for 3.20 as not many balance changes have been done. These that I will show are not necessarily best but the ones I like the most. I've done some updated trees for a more endgame build and added some items that I would aim for. Remember that you should always check for more builds to see what people do similar and different. Explosive Trap is a build that I for long thought about to start with, as I have the plan to do some more bossing this league. I'm still going Trapper but will most likely change it to a Poison Trapper, since the bug fix should be a good boost in damage for it. I went through quite many trees and there is not a huge amount of variety and nothing very surprising in it. I added 1 large and 2 medium clusters. For items we have many uniques that will be good for the build. Devouring Diadem is almost a must, it helps with auras and our way to really spam throw traps. When you can, swap a skin of the Loyal or any 6 link to a skin of the Lords. You can also get Magebane on it to get a good way to cap spell suppression. Circle of Anguish when you want more damage. And when you can fulfill the requirements you can add in a leadership's price. I like Grand Spectrums and one with Endurance Charge would be good. Spark Totems, this really surprised me and I really like this and it was much stronger than I anticipated. If you want to play Shockwave Totems and want something until you do a big change, I could suggest this. I did though change my mind on playing Crit and instead go for Mana Stacking and Elemental Overload. Crit version should still work very well and you will have less to respect if you plan to switch. As you stretch yourself quite a lot in the tree, I didn't add many clusters, just 1 to get Onslaught. You can always take off some life nodes if you want more clusters in. This is very similar to many mana stacking trees. For items it's also very standard. A combo of Viridi's Veil, Soul Mantle, and Coward's Legacy. A Self-Flagellation Jewel and some Grand Spectrums for damage. Try to get projectile speed on your wand also. Toxic Rain, this build worked so good for me while leveling that I didn't even bother optimizing gems and ran with haste instead of malevolence for a long time. This will work very well for heist farming and later on it can tackle all endgame with sufficient upgrades. For the tree there are some different ways to path. Do check some more trees out so you see the differences and make a choice that suits you. To get as many auras in as possible there are even some small clusters in this tree. For gear it's a lot of rares. A +3 bow instead of Quill Rain is a big upgrade. Jewelry with mana cost will make things feel a lot better also. A Devotos will feel good with the attack speed and movement speed. I've also added a link below for some tips that I use on League Start. I got a very basic formula to generate a text string. This is very useful to help you find 3 links early on at the vendor. It will also highlight movement speed boots. My reminder on some recipes that I can never remember. PoE roadmap, here you can enter the code from PoE to get an overview on where you buy your gems, can be quite handy. And remember to check that your filters are up to date and a video link for explanation to Awakened PoE Trade if you want to use that program. Lastly, thank you very much for the nice feedback you have given. I never imagined that so many would appreciate these videos. It's been very fun to level and edit these. I hope your league start will go very well and that the baby Arn Jesus is with you. Do share your thoughts for league start and any tips for leveling in a new league.